We had our kids in the backyard of our old house.
Yesterday, we got to celebrate our baby boy's 12th birthday.
Yeah.
12th birthday.
Dude, that's the baby.
I was a bit emotional, and I think you were feeling it as well.
Yeah, I was.
I was putting a post up on social media, and I was going through our pictures and of him, like when we first had him.
Yeah, that one got me.
Yeah.
Because we have, for those of you that don't know, that maybe just started listening to the show not too long ago, we had our kids in the backyard of our old house.
Yes, in a hot tub.
In the hot tub.
Yes.
Yeah.
Water births are both water births.
And it was an incredible...
And that's how you know I'm a bad bitch.
No, yeah, true.
All natural, no meds.
Yeah.
We went with a midwife who had 20 years at that time experience. And just so you all know, I wasn't going to get into this, but since you brought it up,
right.
And I think what got me really thinking about it is because I started hearing stories on how to own your birth. And a lot of women that had their babies in a hospital felt that their birth, like the experience was taken from them because of all the interruptions. I didn't understand it, but just listening to their stories, I'm like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't want someone to come in and entice me with a pain, with a injection that's going to take away.
Yeah. From the experience.
Especially when you're feeling very uncomfortable.
I remember the chiropractor. Did he talk to you about, because the midwife that delivered our kids, I remember the chiropractor introduced us to her.
Yes.
What did he mention to you that made you like,
no,
do you remember anything?
Yeah, I was thinking of, I don't remember like all the details, but I was thinking about it. And I had mentioned something to him, and he said, you should look into the midwife that we've used. And then he shared his experience with me, which even
made you want to find out more.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, because that's not I don't think that's a normal thought today. Because I think for most people, like, this is the way we do it.
Yeah.
There isn't even like the thought of a different way to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe after talking to the chiropractor, like, it's like, I want to find out more about, other ways. Maybe there is other ways. And then that's like a perfect example of like not knowing, just not knowing, because I felt the same. Like, I was never against it, but at first I didn't understand it. And for me, I was just kind of like everybody else. Like, why would you this is the way people do it. You go to the hospital and you have your baby,
I remember you asking me that. Why would you want to have the baby outside of a hospital?
But that's just ignorance, right? It's just not knowing. I didn't know. And then as soon as you start learning about it and you start digging into it a little bit, then you really start thinking about it. And it's like, I mean, we're living beings, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look at any other living being on the planet that gives birth, that's like a very private thing.
Right.
And to have it in a hospital, I think hospitals are trying to do a better job at some of this stuff in certain places.
Now they are, because of how people are now becoming more aware and wanting.
But it's even still, it's not the same. And it's still different. Like, you have nurses coming in and out. You have doctors coming in and out. You'll have a shift change in between stuff, or whatever. Like, that's not the way a being like any other creature on the planet would do it if they give birth. Right. And then when you start finding out, it's like, wow, we can do this in our home and then lay down in your own bed. Like, that's a completely different experience.
Right. And I got to see the difference when our niece got pregnant and she wanted to have the baby natural, and she wanted me to be in there to coach her through it. And I got to see the difference between having a baby at home and having a baby in the hospital.
Yeah.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
Because there were times where they were coming in and they're like, baby, you don't have to go through this.
Right. She stayed strong. She did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's an awesome example just of having to learn more. Because even when you start digging into that, you start finding out about insurance companies and people picking dates for when their kids are going to be born, and the difference between the bond that a mother has when she has the baby natural and at home maybe versus getting an epidural and not feeling it when you're giving birth. Like, it's a different connection with the baby. There's like some chemical shit that's happening.
Yes. No, the baby is also drugged as well.
And there's I'm saying that there's chemical shit that's happening when you do it naturally. Between the mother and the baby.
Oxytocin.
And but then there's also chemical stuff that doesn't happen, or different things that are happening when you're getting an epidural and, you know, the Pitocin or whatever, like all the different shit that they're giving you. You know, so it's completely different. You start learning about all that stuff, and it becomes eye-opening. It's another one of those things that you could just go down a rabbit hole of information.
Right.
You know?
And you got to deliver the babies too, which was
that is
pretty
not
cool. That's
a regular
not
experience.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Joey, I actually delivered him. That's I think about that every once in a while, but it's cool. I'm glad I thought about it right now.